Update 3 on Super Typhoon Haiyan, which has become the 5th Category 5 storm of the year worldwide, currently with wind speeds of 160 miles per hour sustained and a pressure of 918 millibars. Current position 7.9 degrees north, 136.2 degrees east, meaning that the storm is bearing down on Palau right now. And the storm is expected to move towards the Philippines, striking the central Visayas region as a strong Category 4 typhoon. That's what we're expecting here. And the storm is expected to move out over the South China Sea and then probably making landfall in Vietnam, central Vietnam, as still a typhoon, a fairly significant typhoon at that, still at that point. So right now we have typhoon warnings in effect for Kayangel, Koror and Nagulu in Palau and Micronesia, and tropical storm warnings in effect for the island of Yap, which is just off to the northeast there. No longer typhoon warnings in effect for that region, or typhoon watches as the case may have been. But there it is, the typhoon very close to Palau, that island that you see towards the southeast of the southwest of the storm rather, and that we could be seeing some very inclement conditions over Palau over the next 24 hours. Typhoon conditions certainly possible, and that's the same too for the Philippines. In the next 48 hours we could see typhoon conditions occurring, especially towards the eastern Visayas region in the next 48 hours. So obviously it's not too good a situation out there, so it's certainly something to keep track of, and we'll be doing updates every 12 hours. Sea surface temperatures are fairly warm at the moment, around 28 to 30 degrees Celsius where the storm is currently located, towards the higher end of that where the storm is right now, and that's likely to gradually decrease as it moves through the Philippines and then South China Sea. It will get a little bit cooler for the storm, so it may begin to weaken as it approaches Vietnam. The CMC model then has the storm moving through the Visayas region, out over the South China Sea and then into Vietnam, pretty much as the forecast says, with another storm following after that, moving a little bit further south into the Philippines, and a storm forming in the Bay of Bengal as well. The GFS model has something fairly similar in terms of the first storm, that is Haiyan of course, moving through the Philippines, a bit further south actually by the looks of things, just north of Mindanao in the southern Visayas region, and then into Vietnam eventually, another storm forming after that and could strike southern Vietnam. So the latest satellite imagery, you can see how the eye has been developing over the past few hours, certainly a very intense one by the looks of things, very close to the island of Palau, which is just that little area of islands towards the west-southwest of the storm, and the storm looks like it's going to pass just north of that, but we could certainly see some typhoon conditions, certainly heavy rainfall that will occur over that region. The central core of the storm appears that it will pass over at least the northern half of that region as it moves towards the west. We've already had some spiral bands passing through that region over the past few hours, as you can see there, the white and black areas which show the most intense parts of the storm at the moment. Obviously we have wind speeds of 160 miles per hour sustained and gusts not too far from 200 miles per hour. So as of right now, November the 6th, we only have activity in the eastern hemisphere, nothing going on in the western hemisphere. We have Invest 90A in the Arabian Sea, which could develop into a tropical storm as well. The models were hinting at that not too long ago. What's left of Tropical Depression 30W, which has moved over Vietnam now, and of course Super Typhoon Haiyan. That's the only things going on in the world at the moment. You can see these two systems fairly clearly on this satellite imagery here. Tropical Depression 30W over Vietnam, what's left of it, some storminess associated with that system still there, and of course we have Haiyan. So in 2013 so far we're at 27 storms. 2013, that's the 29th busiest season on record. The 27 in italics because the number is slightly different depending which agency you go from. The typhoon total is 15 so far, and 10 of which have reached Category 3 intensity or higher. So that's the 29th busiest season on record, in the company of 1984 and 1982, just above and below respectively. You can track this storm at the website force13.com/stormtracking.html. That's the main page for all the storm tracking information. There you will find the world overview showing all the storms, where they are, their intensities of course, and indeed including any invests and post-tropical cyclones as well. You can also find us elsewhere on the web, at Facebook and Twitter. To search Force 13 on either of those mediums, you should find us fairly easily enough. And as always, please do show your support by doing the usual means of engagement, liking, subscribing, commenting, favoriting, or following, or indeed anything else that you can think of. If you have any comments or questions on the storm at hand, or indeed anything storm related, I'd be more than happy to answer if I can, and I will do so if you post in the comments section or by private message in a timely manner, hopefully. The next update on this storm will be following in 12 hours. That will be 3 AM UTC. Thursday morning, that will be November the 7th, 2013. That's 11 AM Philippine time on November the 7th. But until then, that's all for now.